But a couple things before I start bringing some people on. Number one, if you have a pet in your house, during this section, show us your pets. I want to see your pets. So bring your pets up onto the screen, wherever they are. Go grab them. I see Chad Blaker, I think, is showing up his puppy. Show your pets. We want to see your pets from around the world. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go to Stephanie Beebe in room 35. Stephanie Beebe, we're going to pull you up first while we're taking a look at all these pets from all over the world. Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So Stephanie, tell us one key insight that you pulled out of the whole social media section. What was a big aha for you?
Well, that was just a huge segment in
Yes.
general. I think I have 7 to 10 pages of notes. But the biggest thing was the reposting. I've done very well. I've gone through a lot of segments and different trainings over the years, building the followers, getting people, but it's always coming up with that right content to keep people interacting. And sometimes, especially the last couple of months, my algorithms have gone down. So reposting and resharing and getting in front of new people and building that algorithm was huge.
Yes. The one thing the way I look at it, Glenn Rollins, I'm seeing your two puppies up there at the same time. That's pretty cool. But is reposting, the way I look at it is, you're like an editor. So, and imagine your TV station is whatever your niche is. So your job is to curate content from around the world and post that content, whether it's reposted from the same platform or you pull it from a different platform and say, here's an article, here's a video, here's a podcast, here's something that you might find valuable, and you just offer that to your followers. So you're acting like an editor. You're acting like you're just curating the best content you can find to be able to bring value. Because here's the key to the whole thing. You bring value to your audience, they'll not only come back, but they'll tell their friends. And when they do that, you have an opportunity to have more conversations with them. So congratulations. Great insight, Stephanie. Give Stephanie a big round of applause. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to room number 49, Sonia Sims. Sonia Sims. How you doing, Sonia? Number 49, Sonia Sims. They're finding you, pulling you up. Can you hear me, Sonia? Sonia?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So where are you connecting from?
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga. So what's one insight that you got out of the social media sections?
Oh my gosh, I have to start posting pretty much.
Just being more consistent?
Yes, being consistent more than once a week.
Okay, so.
And it's okay to borrow somebody else's post.
Yeah, borrow other people's posts. Like I say, curate content, bring value as best you can. But what's your goal? How consistent are you going to try and be?
Well, since we started today, I've posted 4 times.
Nice.
So as much as I possibly can every day, I'm going to try to commit to at least 4 times a day.
Okay. And what platform are you best at right now?
I'm best at Instagram. I'm learning TikTok. And I also do Facebook.
Okay. So how many Instagram followers do you have currently?
445.
And what's your goal for 12 months from now?
12 months from now, I want to have at least 5,000.
Okay. Let's get you, let's double that. Let's get you to the 10,000 number. Pick your niche.
Okay, we can do that.
Curate some great content. I'll pretend that, let's get you so you can get that swipe thing. Let's get you 10,000 followers. Got it?
Got it.
All right. Everybody give Sonia a big round of applause. She's going to have 10,000 followers in 12 months. We're going to help her do it. Well done, well done. Let's go. I want to find somebody who looks like social media is not their thing. I know that maybe not. It's not that person. Dale, or Dalla Evans in room number 9. Let's go to Dalla Evans, room number 9, VIP. Dalla Evans.
Yes, that's me.
Hey, how are you?
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Don't be overwhelmed. If you're feeling a little bit stressed out, just know that we're going to help you go from information to execution so you can make it all happen. Now, you can take the information that we have. This afternoon, I'm going to show you a process where we can kind of coach you over the course of 2021 so you don't have to stress out, all right? So first of all, just breathe. It's all going to be fine. Pick what's one insight that you learned that was a big aha for you over the course of this section?
Well, like the others, I think being consistent, but the reposting, because I've just struggled with looking the right way each time I want to do anything and content. So having the freedom to repost is awesome.
Yeah, so having the freedom to do that, here's what I will tell you, because I can tell just in your body language that this is a lot.
It's a lot.
Like you're in the deep end of the swimming pool trying to figure all this stuff out. But how many, tell me something that you are very confident in, that you've developed confidence in your life. What's one area that you've developed confidence?
Well, I'm a nurse, and I seem to have a superpower of attracting what keeps you out of the doctor's office, all the natural stuff.
So you're confident in your ability to help someone prevent, health challenges.
Right, stay healthy. Mm-hmm.
What developed that? What caused you to be confident?
Well, the fact that I have a degree that allows me to ferret out truth from error.
Okay, so number one, you studied.
Yeah.
You studied, and that gave you some confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I'll bet that you practiced what you studied.
Yeah, for 30 years.
For 30 years. That helped you develop confidence. Third, you probably got some feedback from helping other people, and that helped you feel pretty good. Wow, you helped those people, right?
Yeah.
So study, practice, feedback. You probably have had some mentors over the course of this journey of learning how to be able to serve other people, I'm guessing. Have you had some mentors that have helped you kind of refine your superpower?
No, to tell you the truth, I've kind of had to figure it out my own.
You figured it out on your own. All right, well, that's even better. So here's what I will tell you. The same process that you used to become, when was the first time you went, you know what? I've got this. This area of my life, I've got it. How long ago did you feel relatively confident about it?
25 years, 1996 specifically.
So 25 years ago. So it took you a handful of years to feel confident, right? So here's what I want to tell you. It might not take a handful of years, but you could probably replicate what you did in nursing and in health with social media and network marketing and replicate the same level of confidence in a handful of months.
I know it's true because everybody's doing it. I know I can do this. I just didn't know how. And thank you so much for bringing on these people today that have taught me so much. We are all blowing up with the confidence.
Yes.
We all can do this.
Here's the thing. What I want you to understand, if all of you, if you make a decision to commit to this process, commit to yourselves, commit to learning, commit to growth, commit to your development, 2021 can be the year that you become unstoppable. 2021 is the year that you're not overwhelmed. by the end of 2021, you're not only confident, but you're inspiring confidence in others. Okay? So that's what you got to look forward to. Dalla, big high five. Give me a high five. Give her a big round of applause. Well done. Well done. Let me pick one more. I'm going to go with, I need to pick a guy this time. There's so many ladies on this side. Look at all the pink ladies on this side. I'm going to pick Mark LaMarche in room number 29. Bring up Mark. Mark, are you there? Room number 29, do we got him?
I'm there.
Hey, how you doing?
Good to meet you, Eric.
It's good to meet you. Give me one insight that's really been an impact for you.
I really love the 5 by 5 by 5.
5 by 5 by 5. And why specifically did you enjoy that?
Well, I think that to be successful in social media, you gotta have integrity and be genuine. So if you, too many people I find who just push their business, and just, for me, if I'm at the end of this, it's not so appealing, you know. But with some genuineness, 5 by 5 by 5, if you find sports and things that you can relate to, dogs or whatever, pets and so on and so forth, it just adds so much integrity, and you can build that way, you know. So I thought that was really cool. So I really enjoyed all the presenters this morning. They were all so amazing.
Yeah,
and we can all do this, and
you sure can.
This amount of content.
Yeah, and here's, you know what, if you follow any of my training at all, you'll see that I've got lots of these little 3 steps to this and 7 skills for that. Lots of 3s and 5s and 7s. Like even in social media, we've got 7 things that we're gonna take a look at, and the 5 by 5 by 5. And I don't know if it's just me or if it's helpful for others, but sometimes you just need a little structure. You just need to have a little formula. So I know what to do. You know, what am I supposed to do every day? Here's the formula. Oh, 5 by 5 by 5. Okay, cool. Now my brain can relax, and I can just focus on doing that thing and have a little bit of instruction. It's helpful for me. So I'm glad that was helpful for you. Everybody give Mark a big round of applause. We're gonna go to one more. Let's pick somebody from the millennial group. Let's go to room number 35. Let's go to Livia Pesh? Pesh? I think it's Pesh. Livia, room 35. Hey, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, how you doing? Where are you connecting from?
Arizona.
Arizona. Well, congratulations for being here. Congratulations for investing in yourself and spending the time. What did you get? You look like somebody that's probably already pretty good at social media. Are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot everything I was about to say.
See?
I just didn't add.
Exactly. So, are you pretty good at social media?
Yes, I love social media. It's actually like one of my strongest suits, I would say.
I'll bet. And I wanted to pick somebody that looked like they probably already had this figured out. What did you learn that you can use to take your social media up to another level?
So I think just like the whole reposting people's thing, because I find so often I'm spending way too much time. Like I'm dinking around, I'm sitting, and my eyes are like, I can't look at my phone anymore. So I think the whole like taking people's ideas and just totally, even just creating a whole new thing with it. And what stuck out for me was when people go on my page, I want them to be like, oh my gosh, this is helping me. Like her content is helping me truly. And so I don't think I'm putting that out there, and I'm just, you know, posting things more about me where I want it to be like, no, like this can help so many more lives. So.
Well, that's fantastic. Everybody give Livia a big round of applause. Well done, sister.
Thank you.
Come on, give her some applause. There you go. All right. I want to give you one key insight when it comes to social media. Listen to me and pay attention to this. The social media organizations spend billions and billions and billions of dollars to get and hold your eyeballs, your attention. So write this down, please. Use social media. Don't let social media use you. Use social media. Don't let social media use you. Now, here's a way to think about this. Write this down, please. Create more than you consume. Create and post more content than you consume as a consumer. Be a broadcaster of content more than a consumer of content. That's how you use social media more than social media is using you. Create more than you consume. You should only be consuming for research to repost, for hashtags to pay attention to, or for trends that may be important to your business. Outside of that, resist the urge to become a mouse in their mousetrap. To be a consumer is one thing. To be a producer is another. Use social media more than social media is using you. Create more than you consume. Don't be just a target inside of the marketplace, endlessly scrolling, thinking that you're building your business. You should only be scrolling for research, for content, for trends, but then take that and then use it to produce more content. Understand? If you just focus there, last thing I will give you is value and consistency. Bring value to your audience, they will stay and they'll tell their friends. Be consistent, that builds trust and that builds your brand. Value and consistency, consistency and value. If you're ever wondering what you should do, think about how you can bring more value to your audience, whether it's through your content or through somebody else's, sharing somebody, reposting somebody, grabbing an article. All you have to do is Google what are the best articles in the world on this topic. And you'll get 1,000 articles that you could post one a day for the next 365 days. What are the best videos that are available on your topic? You can have a different video that you post every single day. What's a photo that represents your topic that's an amazing, epic photo? You can look up photos that represent your topic and post that. But make sure that you're in charge. This is your media channel. It's not Facebook's, and it's not Instagram's, and it's not TikTok's. It's yours. It's your tool to use. Don't let them turn you into a tool. Make sense? You do this, you rule. You control everything. Okay? So do that. Your life will be better. Now, we're going to pivot. You ready to pivot? We're going to pivot into leadership. One of my key areas that I needed to develop in myself was to become a better leader. And to start this, we have a dear friend of mine who's an incredible leader. He has a huge group within his organization. There's over 3,000 people from his organization that are part of this GoPro experience around the world. And he has led in his life and by example. And he's here to teach you how to become a better leader. So to kick off this whole leadership day, afternoon, please welcome to the stage, big GoPro welcome, Mr. Armand Puyot.
Yo sé bien que estoy afuera, pero el día en que yo me muera, sé que tendrás que llorar, llorar y llorar. llorar y llorar. How's everybody? ¿Cómo están a toda mi gente? Just for the ones who speak a little bit of Spanish. You know, I got pushed here on to do a little bit of a leadership. And one of the things that you guys are going to understand is that leadership is something that I learned basically the hard way, because I did it the wrong way first, and I was successful. Then I did it the right way, and I was very successful. So here's the thing. Leadership is a lot, my friends, it's a lot like having children. And you have to teach, mentor, talk, and teach everybody everything that they need. So one thing that happened, so a lot of you know, in my story, I grew up with a single mom. How many single moms out there? Raise your hands. A lot of single moms I can see, a lot of single moms. Well, my mom struggled, I bet like most of you have. My mom struggled to feed us, to pay the rent. We lived apartment to apartment because what ended up happening is that I guess we paid too much rent, so they keep moving us. And we kept looking for something else. But that was my drive. You know, it got to the point that I got tired of moving from home to home, to home, to home, to home, to home, that I said, I got to do something about it. That's when my entrepreneur spirit started. So one of the things that I did is I got started by selling chocolates, M&Ms, Starburst, Skittles from the backpack of, you know, going to high school. It was very young. I was making so much money because during that time in California, guess what happened? Candy was illegal in schools. Sugar was illegal. Sodas were illegal. So me, I was selling better than the drug dealers at school. And I was selling candy. See? So I started making a lot of money. And I started helping out. And I figured out that business was something that is powerful, because I learned that if you learn to sell, you'll never be hungry. If you learn to sell, you will never be looking for where the next meal is coming from. So from that point, one thing that happened was I started getting involved in a lot more different things of business. I finally joined a network marketing company at the age of 16 and a half. I think I shouldn't have at that age, but yet I did. It was a crystal company. And then what we did was I got this big package when I joined. I didn't know what to do with it. Nobody taught me to do home meetings. Nobody taught me to do anything. How many here have joined a business and you didn't know what to do, right? You had to go fish it out yourself. Yeah, I see Sonia raising her hand. I see Robert. I see Ron. You know, I see a lot of people here raising their hands and saying, you know, I struggled with this. And one of the key points is that I struggled so much at the very beginning because not only my age, I said, who's going to come to a home party at a 16-year-old? Or who's going to host a 16-year-old is going to believe to sell them this product? So I did the next best thing. I went back to my high school. Not that I left, but I went back to the high school the next day. And then I hired all these people, kids, to wear their shirts, their jerseys, and everything else. We went door to door like we were selling chocolate. And when we did that, we ended up becoming, well, actually, I became the top rep from the West Coast in sales for that company. And we did that very quickly. We got promoted, we moved, and one of the things that happened was that I figured out that I was not liked within the leadership when I went to a convention because I told that same story and they looked at me like I was doing something wrong. So that day I left. And luckily outside, I met my first mentor. And that's where we start looking at leadership. That's when we start looking at who is the leader. Because when this man took me on, it's not like he was making a lot of money. Well, he was making a lot of money for me. I mean, he was like 20 grand a month. I was like, what the heck? 20 grand a month for a 17-year-old at that time? It's a lot of money. And what he did was, he was the first person who started doing those little circles and lines and circles and lines and circles and lines, you know, and showing me all that stuff that you guys see in a napkin presentation now. And when that happened, he opened my eyes. He says, you're doing everything right. You are selling, you're going out there, you're looking for customers, you're looking for everything. The only thing that you're missing is residual income. If you learn to pick up residual income, you will never, ever, ever look for anything again. So that day, I followed this gentleman. I became his shadow. I carried his bags. I went everywhere he went. I picked up, at that time there was no PowerPoints or projectors. There was a flip chart, and I was the guy turning the flip chart. So it's like I was the clicker at this time, that basically. But I was learning everything he was saying. And one thing that got me to understand, my friends, is that I noticed that he was doing everything by script. He was saying word verbatim every single event. Every single meeting was word. It was the same joke. I mean, I couldn't even laugh at it no more, but everybody laughed. Everybody loved it. Right, Marge? I can see you. But I can see one of the things that happened with me was this. I ended up doing the same presentation, word verbatim what he did, filled the room, went in, said the same jokes. I even called myself Sean, the same name. I didn't even say I was Armand. I made the mistake because I was so nervous. I even called myself Sean. And guess what happened? I closed the room. I closed the room. At that moment, I understood that if we learn to teach, if we love to teach people to learn to be a leader, things will change. Now, move on a little bit. By the age of 20, I was doing $1 million a year. By the age of 25, I was doing about $5 million a year. And I kept moving on. But I learned something very powerful. That now I wanted to grow, teach, and show people what to do. But I was missing a huge chunk of people. And this big chunk of people was people that they just didn't get it. They just didn't understand. They were asking too many questions. How many of you have people, raise your hand, if you have people that ask the same questions over and over and over and over and over again? See, I used to get bothered by that. And I used to get angry. I would say, don't you get it? Don't you understand? Don't you understand what I'm telling you? I already told you this 10 times. Sometimes I wouldn't even pick up the phone no more for these people, right? You guys get those people? See, a little bit forward, I had an issue where I was diagnosed with cancer phase 4. And when I was diagnosed with cancer phase 4, they told me I only had 6 months to live. And this was in February of 2010, my friends. Now, the most powerful part about this is that since I had 6 months more to live, I had to build a residual income. I had to build enough power for my leadership to stay after I leave, make sure that they have enough of everything. So at this point, I was trying to teach everybody to do everything. But I was only making 7 figures at that time. At that point, my friends, one thing happened that is very tremendous. I started changing my ways of teaching people. I started teaching the people that they just wanted to sell. I just started teaching the people that just wanted to move. They just teaching the people who just needed to pay the rent. I just started teaching people who were hungry to learn what they were going to do. How many of you are hungry to learn? Say, give me a high five, everybody. And one thing that I did, I understood that by teaching these people on and on and on again what we're doing, and now these people, I found out and I figured out. See, remember those people that repetitive said, I want to learn, we kept shutting them off? I learned that those became my best leaders. Because once I taught them, they wanted to learn. They wanted to learn so bad, they kept asking because they wanted to get it correct. And once they got it correct, guess what happened? They became the best mentors, the best coaches for the team. They became the people who had the right information. They became the ones who actually had the heart that they wanted to help the other little guys grow. And when that started happening, between those 6 months, that I was thinking I was going to pass away, guess what happened? I started growing. And from a brand new company that we started growing at that point, we moved it. By the time 2015 came around, I was doing 8 figures a year. But all that happened, and I noticed the big difference. I was doing a lot of volume talking just to leaders. I was doing massive volume talking and teaching the people that just wanted to learn. And one of the things as a leader, you have to decide who are you going to teach? Who are you going to work? Who are you going to do? Don't avoid anybody. One of my biggest leaders came in one day, and he came in at one of my meetings, and he was one of my friends from high school. And he was still wearing the ripped shirt, the ripped jeans. He still looked like a bum. Didn't look like he showered. You know, one of those guys that, you guys, we all have friends like that, right? And then he came in the room, but I knew that guy so well. I knew him like to my heart so well that he came in and he was like, the first time, I actually told somebody, don't sign up. Don't sign up. I don't want to take on this issue of you having a problem, then your mom calling my mom and everything else, right? I don't want that issue. But at the end, he goes like, I want to join. I was like, no, don't do it. I want to join. No, don't do it. Because what I learned that day? That day, he joined. Nowadays, he's wearing suits. He's driving a Ferrari. He's never looked back, and he's never looked the same ever again. This industry is one that can help anybody who wants to succeed. And every single one of you who are here at this moment, you have to understand one thing, that the opportunity that you have today is a blessing. If you feel you are in the shadow, and if you feel you are a person that is getting darkness only, you're not getting any light, I suggest you start facing the sun, because then the shadows will always be behind you. Then the darkness will always be behind you. Everything that you're looking for will always be behind you. If you stop looking at the issues that are in your life and start looking at the possibilities that are within your life, in your reach, you can do bigger things than you can imagine. Now, my friends, one thing that you have to understand is that the only way I succeeded from the time I was 16 to the time I was 40 is basically never stopping, never stopping, never stopping, never stopping, never stopping. One of my big mentors one time said to me, he said, Armand, this industry is so simple that people forget and don't understand because they're trying to make it difficult on themselves. And one of the things that happens is this. My mentor said, the moment you look and you see yourself in this industry, you have to notice that all you gotta do is you gotta work. Then you gotta work. Then you gotta work. Then you gotta work. Then you gotta work. You gotta work. You gotta keep looking at the front. You gotta work. You gotta work. You gotta work. And then you get paid. At this point, it's pretty powerful because now you tasted the check. You know it's real. You know it's right. The company, whatever you're doing, you know it's like, wow, it's happening. And all of a sudden, you gotta work. You gotta work. You gotta work. You gotta work. And then you get paid. You go, oh my goodness, I got paid a little bit sooner. I got paid a little bit quicker. And all of a sudden, you gotta work. You gotta work. Then you got paid. You go like, oh my goodness, I got paid even better. And I worked a little bit less because my group is growing. Then all of a sudden is, you gotta work, you got paid. You go like, oh my goodness, this is great. Look at all my people making money too. All of a sudden you gotta work, you got paid. Then you gotta paid, then you get 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 paid. Now, I understand, and here's the key, that a lot of you didn't understand what I just said. So I gotta speak in the lingo of the majority here, the women. every single time you get into the business and you work, you work, you work, you work, you work, you work, and you go shopping, right? You guys got it? So then you work, you go shopping. Then you go work, shopping, then work, shopping, and then all of a sudden you go shopping. Who says I? Say I. Phenomenal, my friends. So a lot of you who are here, I want you to understand one thing. Leadership is teaching. Leadership is showing. Leadership is making sure that everybody in your organization learns what you learn. If you don't know it, send the person to an upline. Let them learn. Send them to an event just like this one. Send them to an event just like your convention. Send them to an event like a Super Saturday. Send them to an event where they can start learning, because what's going to start happening is you're going to start shopping. And shopping. You guys get it? So give me a high five if you got it. Every single time you get an opportunity of someone letting you know, I want to do this, is your opportunity in your business to teach them everything you know. See, the difference between a job and network marketing is if you teach them everything you do in your job, you may lose your job to that person. In network marketing, if you teach them everything you know, they become duplicates of you, and your income will grow in such a powerful form. Remember, the money's in the follow-up, but your wealth will always be in retention. You'll always be in sorting. Will always be in teaching. Will always be creating leadership from here on into the future. If you guys are going to create leaders, say aye. Every single one of you who are here today are lucky. I see Samantha, I see Michael, I see Amy, I see Janice, I see Paola, I see Melissa, I see Cindy. You know, I see all these people here right now with a hunger to start, with a hunger to do something. And to me, this is so awesome because I'm standing here in between these panels of just power. And what I mean by power is not the power within the electricity that's running through this arena here. The power is you, every single one of you who are here. The power is every single one of you and the change you guys can happen and you guys can make within your families, within your lives. See, my life started being hungry. My life started wondering if I was going to have a home to sleep. My life started sleeping in cars with my mom. And thanks to that, we were able to buy her a home, buy us a home, change our lives, create wealth, create just a life that people can only dream of. And all that takes is belief. All that takes is leadership. All that takes is you to decide today that you are going to do it. To decide today that you will become that person that will change the destiny of your family forever. And I'm telling you right now, I've seen so many people change. In my business, we have over 37-figure earners just in the last year alone. And what happens is that there's no magic there. It's only teaching and teaching you and teaching your people and teaching their people and teaching their people to repeat the same thing. So thank you very much for here. Muchas gracias a todos los que están aquí, mis latinos. Los quiero, los amo. Aquí estamos para todos. Va. Thank you.
Pero el día en que yo me muera, sé que tendrás que llorar. Llorar y llorar. Llorar y llorar. Dirás que no me quisiste, pero
Armand, thank you so much. Always bringing the energy. Have you noticed something? So we talked about your story, but do you see how so much about this business has nothing to do with you? You know, we went back and everybody's like, I don't post enough. I don't do enough on social media. And you know, anytime we get